Well, what up, though? You know how we do it. 313 is the place to be, all the way from Detroit. You know, that's where God lives. All right. Welcome again to Leading from the Future. I'm your host, Dr. Pastor Prophet Anthony D. Shannon. But we tell people I'm a prophet you can trust. Not sensationalism, but straight up authentic word that God Himself authenticates, where we continually to blend faith, practicality, and business all synergistically together. We're not sacrificing one or the other. No, sir. We want them all. We believe you can be saved and paid. Yes, indeed. We know it to be true like never before. I think even in John 3:16, he says, "For God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in Him should not perish, but have what? Everlasting life." But then John 10:10 says, "The thief cometh not but to steal, kill, and to destroy. But I've come that you might have life. Enjoy it to the full, till it overflow." That's what we do. We love to have some fun. We love to balance it, because it doesn't make sense for you to work all day and have no play. You might as well throw John 10:10 out the window. But no, sir. John 10:10 out of the Amplified said that He come that you might enjoy the life, that it is full and it will overflow. So welcome, as we said before, to Leading from the Future. You know, this is a unique space where we believe that inspiration blends with revelation to empower you on your journey. Right here, you know, we just don't keep you informed, but we believe that we want to bring information and stories that will help you to transform. And transform what? Your perspective, your view. Maybe you didn't see it that way. Maybe you didn't hear anybody go through what they've been through. Maybe you didn't think somebody could make it through. Well, I promise you, as you dive into these riveting stories of individuals who've triumphed over adversity, right? They've learned from those that they've had seen before. Now you can learn from those who have persevered against all odds. And then I want you to absorb the invaluable lessons on using your voice to get off the couch. Go do something. What is it that is inspiring you to go do something in this world to make a difference? Listen, I want you to join us as we explore these pathways and uncover hidden potential, and then inspire you to embrace your destiny. That's what we call Leading from the Future. It's not just a show, it's a movement towards getting you to a purpose-driven life. You know what I always say? If you find your purpose, you can then live your life. Well, you know, we never ever disappoint. We did not shortchange you this round ever. Never, ever, ever. We have pulled one of these dynamic young Black men who have overcame the different odds. He has overcome obstacles, went through water, and guess what? He's still standing today. Very successful, but he decided he wants to give back. Who am I talking about? Chris Hampton. Christopher Hampton is one of the most empowering, entertaining, enthusiastic voices in motivational speaking today. That's right. He inspires audiences with transformational principles that embrace your greatness and you to achieve success. As the founder of the Champ I Am organization, Chris provides strategies that challenges leaders to break out of their comfort zones and release their inner champ. Come on, somebody. The champ is here. Won't y'all welcome to the stage the one and only Christopher Hampton, Champ I Am. Come on, man. He'll knock you
Champ
down.
is here. Yes, it's good to be in the place. Good to be in the place, Doctor.
Man, welcome, man. Welcome, man. We really appreciate you, what you've been able to do, and what you continue to do. Thank God for your friendship, your partnership, and thank God for who you are. Well, man, listen, it's been a long time coming, but we're glad that the day is here, that everyone gets to hear and see the one and only Champ I Am organization. Well, man, first of all, how are you and what's happening?
Man, I'm doing good, doing great. I am so excited. 2025 is rushing me. It's rushing me. I'm like, it's rushing. Why are you rushing me? I mean, I'm already. It's already a blessed. Even with all the negative things that people have been saying, I don't see life like that. So no matter who won the election or what's going on in the state of our economy, and God is still God on the throne. So I'm like, hey, it's a great year. I'm like, and then this year that we're about to walk into, we've declared it the year of intentional faith in our house. And just seeing how faith is meeting up with the actions and just stepping into the new year already full.
Wow.
Already full. I got an invitation just the other day to speak at Yale University for the Black Solidarity Conference, and then going into India, all in January. I'm
Yes.
like, when do I have enough time for the day job?
Oh, that's pretty
No,
good.
it's all good. It's all good, Doc. It's all good.
So, tell people, let's start from the beginning. Tell people who you are, right? Where were you born? Who's your parents? And where did you go to school?
Oh, that's real intimate. Okay. Well, again, my name is Chris Hampton. Champ I Am is my brand. I'm here I didn't misspell champion. Okay. I know what champion spells like, but what happens is I realized that God made me a champ, and that's my identity as champ. And then the I Am talks about everything that I need is on the inside of me. I'm connected with the great I Am. So that's where it talks about the champ I Am attitude comes from, is that, the champ is who we are. We all are champions, not just me. You're a champ. But the I Am talks about, greater is he that's in me than he that's in the world, the I Am connection. So whatever is missing on my side, he got it covered. So that's where you get champ I Am. So once you understand champ I Am, you'll never look at champion the same. I'm born and raised in New Jersey, South Jersey, right outside of Philadelphia, to Sandra Marie Hampton and Elwood Charles Hampton. They're all going on with the Lord, but every gift that I have has come from them. So I'm blessed with that as well. As in schooling, my testimony is that you would never really realize from talking to me. I was a high school dropout. Dropped out of high school, didn't go to college, didn't do anything. I dropped out of high school and went into the military. And that's where I got my leadership charm. But people don't even know that. I was so active in high school that people swore I graduated, but I didn't graduate. I was the president of this. I was the founder of the Christian Club. I was the president of the gospel choir. I had all letters and things there. And they're like, where was Chris during graduation? He had dropped out because of life. My mother was bipolar. I suffered with bipolar disorder. My father left us at that age of 17. And a lot of that stuff just hit our shoulders and hit me like I felt like I had to be the man of the house, which was not my position to be in. But I said, I decided, I'm not going to, I was failing in one class. I was like, I am not going through a whole year for one class. So I dropped out, got my GED, went into the military, and then life went on.
Wow. Now, what branch were you in the military?
Army National Guard.
Army National Guard.
Yeah, I wasn't committed to go full time, but I wanted to be a weekend warrior, but it was what I needed. The Army showed me so much about myself that I almost really believe that everybody should do some type of military service, because it really does show you, one, diversity of people and cultures and things like that. Sometimes you just need to get out your environment, and the Army kind of does that. And then the Army also taught me a leadership principle that of the law of demand, that sometimes you don't recognize your skills and what you have the potential for until there is a demand put on you. Like, I didn't know I could run until they told me to run 2 miles, and I'm running 2 miles in 11 minutes. I could have been a track star, but I wasn't. I didn't realize I could shoot. I didn't realize I could run and jump and do half the things that they put a demand on me. But that principle stayed on me for the rest of my life, that that you won't get nothing out of yourself unless you put a demand on it.
That is some good stuff right there. No one would have ever known that you were in the military, but look what it has done to shape you. Where did you get this outward personality? It's contagious. It's happy. It's upbeat. Where did you get that from? From your father? From your mother? From the military? Where did you get it from?
I evolved. I really didn't get it from my mom or my dad, because even in my high school years, I was a wallflower. So I was not popular. I wasn't like Dr. Anthony Shannon that just shines in the midst of everybody. I was that guy on the side. It wasn't until I started building confidence in myself and starting to be more accepting of who I was. You see this within the last 10, 15 years of my life where I started to come out that shell. And I'm 49 this year. So, this is something that I've evolved into. People still don't believe I'm an introvert, but I am. I'm not that person that puts myself out there like that. But I was always a good person. I was always a people person, meaning that I was caring for the people and ministering to people and helping people. So that side has always been with me. And I attribute that to my mother who took me to church, and a lot of my leadership skills and my life skills does come from serving in ministry and doing those things.
You have not shied away from your faith at all. Matter of fact, it's in the forefront. People know. And I was at one, we were together at Dr. Tabitha's, and I could feel it shift, and you shifted right with it, and it changed the whole atmosphere. And of course, Dr. Tabitha, she's not shy of her faith. She went with it as well. How did you gain your faith, and how were you introduced to even build your faith with God?
It's funny, as a child, I was always in church with my mother. So the foundation was there. I was singing, I was doing all the things that you do in church. But I actually, in high school, when I gave my life to God, I gave my life to Christ. And I said I wanted to live sold out my freshman year of high school. That's when that started to develop. And the gifts started to be exposed in my life. And that's where if you ask me where did motivational speaking first start, it started my freshman year of high school. And that's when I really felt a call that I was supposed to be able to be a blessing to nations and be a blessing globally to the world, but doing it through ministry. But I only thought that the avenue was going to be ministry. If you asked me that I was going to be in the marketplace, I've never saw myself in the marketplace the way I'm flowing right now. I always saw it as one-dimensional. I had to do church. I had to grow up to be a minister. I had to do that. But that wasn't where God had me, because he took me outside and almost cultivated like an evangelistic gift, because I was always around people that didn't know God, but they were wanting to know God. And then I was showing them God, not through the religious lens that we typically see. If I say God is good, everybody says all the time. But when you're dealing with people that don't know God like that, the only time that they get that message is through your life. And what happens is when their life is not going right, they want to go to someone who's found and sound and looks like they got it together. And they just so happen to come to me. And I was sharing, I don't have it together. The only thing that's keeping me together was God. So I said, nobody's got it together, but the only thing that's keeping me together was God. So I learned through trial and error and through good mentors, because one of the people that I mentored, he was good with people. He was kind of like you. He was a R&B artist, but he wanted to sing gospel. And I told him, I said, you can't sing gospel and do R&B at the same time. No, you're not going to be sitting there talking about we love the Lord and baby, I want you. So, but I schooled him in the Bible, and I mentored him in the Bible, but he mentored me about people and showed me how to deal with people. So the skill that we learn, he's now my elder today at my church. So it's funny now. I mentored him, but he's now my elder at church. And just to see how that just amazes me. But he showed me so much about how to deal with people and how to speak to people, because church folk don't know how to speak to people sometimes. And I see it in the marketplace as well, that we don't know how to speak in the marketplace. We know how to speak church, but you can't talk church 24 hours a day. Even Jesus didn't talk church 24 hours a day. So if he didn't do it, why are we doing it? Because we only know how to preach to the choir. So that's my relationship. When you even see me out on the stage, my first time speaking was actually empowering models in the fashion industry. And I was in a bar and they brought me up to speak. And I didn't mention Jesus' name one time, but he was all up in the message, to the point that they were cussing before I got up there. After I got up there, the atmosphere shifted and they preached the message after a while.
I love it.
They called on Jesus after a while. I didn't impose Jesus. I just showed up and showed them what Jesus would look like. but they were able to see that fruit and be able to do that, and they could not act the same, even though they were of a different culture. They could not go back to the way they were because we made an impression. And I didn't go in there like Esther off of Sanford and Son and try to hit them all there. I just sat there and I just teach the principle of knowing your worth. And I was sharing knowing your worth. And it just amazed me that you don't have to do much to really minister and to be a minister. You just have to be. And that's what Champ I Am is all about, is just being that champ, manifesting that champ in front of people to show you this is what champs look like.
Wow. Well, I told you we did not disappoint. We did not leave you shorthanded. We brought to you another dynamic speaker, and you've been hearing his story. He took you back and brought you on up. We're going to take a break right here. I want you, if you do not have the book, Live Generously, I want you to check this out so you can purchase your book today, right? You need to make sure this book is in your library. All right. I don't care what else other book is in there. This book needs to be an addition to your library. God has something to say about your money. He wants you to know what you need to do so that you can live generously. That's right. Get this book and put it in your library today.
Here at the Victory Church, we are a teaching church, and who better to learn from than our very own Pastor Prophet Anthony D. Shannon. He's written a book entitled Live Generously. That's right. If you are ready to embrace biblical principles about money and to learn about God's financial management and even about the joys of trusting God through giving, it's time for you to live generously. Get this book today. Purchase it for $20 here at the church, or you can purchase it in ebook form on our website for $14.99. That's right. Go ahead and visit our website, thevictorychurchint.org. You want to get this book if you are ready to go to another level and embrace God's biblical principles about money. Are you unshakable? We know you can't stop the storms of life, but you can discover how to be unshakable. If you're ready to learn how to overcome family challenges, illness, financial stress, and more, you need this book, Unshakable, written by Nelson Searcy. And the foreword was written by our very own Pastor Prophet Anthony D. Shannon. Get this book, Unshakable, today for only $20 at the church. And you can also email us at tvci.executiveoffice@gmail.com. Get Unshakable today. It is God's desire that you overcome obstacles, even in less than optimum circumstances. Get these books today to live your best life. And here at the Victory Church, as we say, success is the only option.
Hi, I'm Christopher Hampton, Champ I Am, and you are watching Leading from the Future with Dr. Pastor Prophet Anthony Shannon.
Hello, and thank you for tuning into Leading from the Future with Dr. Pastor Prophet Anthony D. Shannon. Well, we hope that you're enjoying the show, and we want to let you know that we are grateful for you. From captivating stories to insightful discussions, we value your presence in our community. Now, if you're finding value and joy in what we bring to your screen, we'd like to invite you to consider taking your support a step further. To ensure the continued success of our channel, we warmly invite you to contribute. We're seeking 10 generous individuals to donate $1,000 each, as well as 10 contributors with a gift of $526, and 10 supporters donating $224.24. Every donation, regardless of the amount, makes a significant impact. However, as a token of our gratitude, each contributor will receive a personalized prophetic word and an exclusive ebook. We have 3 simple ways for you to give, making it quick and easy for you to send your contributions. The first is Cash App. That's right, $Anthony D. Shannon. You can send your contribution directly to our amazing host. The second way is to download the V-Church app. Go ahead and download on the Google Play or your App Store and follow the prompts there. The third is Cash App. $, the Victory Church INT. Again, we thank you for your contributions and your support of Leading from the Future with our amazing host, Dr. Pastor Prophet Anthony D. Shannon. Well, thank you for being an essential part of our journey. Your generosity truly fuels our passion. Now let's get back to the show because more exciting moments await us. Thank you for your continued support.
All right, well, we're back. I want to thank you for tuning in to Leading from the Future. Those of you that are just watching, listen, we have a dynamic guest, and he has been dropping 24 karat gold bars indeed. He just started, but let me tell you something, we're going to get right back to our guest, Chris Hampton, Champ I Am. Before we left, you were talking about your walk with God and how you became like an evangelist. You know, you're like an evangelistic person who has a lifestyle of evangelism, meaning your life itself speaks for God without you even mentioning his name, but they can tell something is different about you. Here's the question I have for you. How has your family supported your journey as a speaker, right, and as a leader?
It's a blessing. My mother was, when I first started in 2017, I was caretaking for my mom. And I wanted to speak, didn't have the funds to speak, but I had a mentor that I really wanted to take that class. And it was around this time, it was a Christmas gift from my mother that she actually purchased my first mentorship and sewed into me. That's how she supported me. I kind of remiss because she passed away like 3 years ago, and well, actually, yeah, and she didn't get a chance to see the seed that she had put in me. But that was a blessing for her to be able to see that. She was my first teacher. My mother was a teacher herself. So a lot of the teaching gifts that you see really come from her and my family lineage. I come from a lineage of teachers, but she was my first teacher. And a lot of things that I look at, the way that I do things really came because of her. My dad was a professional salesperson, so the sales side comes from him. He wasn't a Christian at all, but towards the end of his life, he became a Christian. But I got all my talking gift from him. So the teaching came from my mom, but the talking and the convincing and the being able to, that came from my dad. And they really supported me as in going ahead and doing it, even though they didn't know what it was going to look like.
Wow, that is so cool, man, that you have both of that. So question then, what legacy then? You know what I mean? You come from good stock, good pedigree. What legacy do you hope to leave for your loved ones and even the world?
Right now, I see legacy right now from my grandkids. I want to be a good example to them. Right now, they call me Papa. Right. So I love that. I got 3 grandkids that call me Papa, and they keep me in check. But I love the fact that they want to go to church with me. I love the fact that they want to be under me right now, because there's going to come a time where they probably don't want to be with me. I'm not as cool, but I always want to create that legacy that Papa was there. And then also just be as for the world. To be that person that whenever I come into your presence, that you feel like you can do anything, that you weren't looking at purpose before, but you're looking at purpose differently because you came in contact with me.
That is so powerful, man, that you get to impact some grandchildren, right? They're receiving it and want to walk with you, you know, and I like that because that means that now not only are you influencing people out in the world, you're also doing inreach to have impact with your own family. You know, if you would think about this, what do you think has been the most significant, or maybe that's what it is. Who do you believe has had the most significant influence in pushing you to life and even now as a speaker?
Okay, that's good. We are a combination of our relationships. And so I can't just put one person in there. It's the relationships that I have. So one is the first leadership coach that I had would be my bishop. Bishop John and Pastor Aisha Edmondson, because you don't realize it, but when I was one of the founding members of that church that we started about 22 years.
Congrats, man.
We were part of the original 11 that were there. But in the midst of us growing that ministry, we've now grown to that ministry where it's over about 1,000 members that are there. So seeing that happen over 22 years, we've learned how to lead by doing. And I've learned the value.
Let me pause you there for a second. Elaborate on that, because a lot of people think, you just get a rope and hold on. But you said something so profound that you learned by doing.
Well, when we talk about learning by doing, I remember, like I said, setting up that church in the hotel, and it was only us doing it, and learning that the conversation my bishop was sharing with me is that, Chris, you're going to be great, but you're going to have to learn how to serve. And I think was one of the greatest lessons, and you've seen that the fruit of that in the corporate spaces that you see me walk in, is that even though I know I'm mighty, I am not so mighty that I can't serve. And there were doors that are only open when you serve. And I think people don't realize that that's a form of leadership, servant leadership. So I learned that through Victory. I learned how to serve someone else's vision, so that when it comes to my time for my vision to come into fruition, the way that I served other people, someone is going to come and serve me. And I've seen that happen. Another mentor is Sean Fair. My brand did not blow up to another level until I stepped on the Leadership Experience Tour. Right. So that was when you have a mentor, you should see noticeable shifts in your life. So, and that's so important, because if you're tapping in right now, you're paying for information. Everybody's saying that they're a coach today, but if they're coaching you and you don't see a noticeable shift, then you need to pay for a different coach. Let that one go and pay for the coach that's giving you that shift. Because what I've noticed was, when I got into the right environment and I submitted myself as the one that didn't know what I was doing at that level, but I saw them flying at a different level, I submitted myself and I said, all right, let's do it. And I did it. And within a short period of time, my brand jumped. I walked into my first conference and they knew who I was before I even walked in the door. They all in the hotel, and as soon as I walked in there, they said the champ is here. That didn't happen until I touched Sean's platform. So that's another reason why you'll see the growth that I'm having, is because I'm making sure that I'm getting across. I'm always in a position of learning and serving and growing.
Wow. How do you keep yourself with a hunger for learning? It's like a lifetime learner, where some people, they say, oh, I already know that, you ain't got to tell me nothing. But I've seen you absorb and keep absorbing, but then you pour out a lot as well. How do you keep that mindset of hunger to learn?
Well, you're a fellow John Maxwell follower, so you know the law of the lid. So I live by that principle, and the law of the lid talks about that a leader, the people will only grow as much as the leader does. So when the leader stops learning, the people stop learning, right? So if the leader is at a 5, the people are at a 1. So I always have to make sure, especially for a part of my mental health, you want to also make sure that if you're pouring out into people, that you need to make time to be poured into. And that means that you have to be at a place where you as a leader are being poured into. I question the leader that has no one pouring into him. I don't see the healthy people that are following them. When you're giving out and you have nobody pouring into you, you end up being at a point where you get dropped. I've never seen the dropout rate of pastors that I'm seeing, and different leaders that are saying, I need to go on sabbatical, and they haven't been in ministry more than 5 years. And the reason why is why? Because who's pouring into you, right? You have leaders having mental breakdowns on the job. Why? Because they're not open to learn more than what their position is. So I'm always, right now, even with Sean, I'm always looking for my next level mentor. Not negating the mentors that I already have, but there's another dimension, another level that I need to get to, and I can't get there off of the current knowledge that I have. So I'm always doing, and then I can't call me a coach and I'm not coachable.
Right. That's good. You know, you're dropping 24 karat gold bars for people to pick up. And that is so wonderful because we get leaders who have been through some stuff that's willing to not they themselves have learned, they earned, and now they're returning. And that's what we like. Hope you're enjoying this, folks. We're going to take another quick break. We want you to check this out. We always invite people to sow a seed, give into the broadcast so we can continue to take the broadcast out across the airwaves, Apple TV, Hulu, On Stage Plus, all of these avenues so that and we ask 5 of you to sow a seed of $1,000. We ask 5 of you to sow $224.24. And then we ask 5 of you to just sow a seed, whatever the Lord does to touch your heart, so that we can continue to take this message, inspiration, so that we can bring revelation and we can be the catalyst for you to help you go to another level. And we want you to know that God loves you regardless how you perform. That's why he sent his son just to die for you. And guess what? You don't have to be a pastor. You don't have to be a bishop. You don't have to be an apostle, a prophet, an evangelist. Guess what? You can be you in business. Your desk could be your pulpit. You could be a singer. Your voice could be the pulpit. It doesn't matter. Listen, we're here to let you know it's about the kingdom. And in the kingdom, God has a purpose just for you. And so we want to invite you to sow the seed today. And then I want to invite you to get the book. You've got to get the book, The Heart of a Black Man. Listen, I'm telling people all day, all night that every black man is not in jail. Every black man is not going to hell. Every black father is not a deadbeat. I'm telling you, there is some successful black men who are definitely examples of overcoming adversity, overcoming crisis, and standing today. Not only are their men, their fathers, their brothers, their husbands, their friends. Listen, you saw and heard even Champ I Am. He's a grandfather. He's pouring back into his grandchildren. You don't hear about that. They try to say black man is not even around. This man not only is around for his kids, he's around for his grandkids. You need to get this book, The Heart of a Black Man. I promise you it will inspire you. I promise you it'll bless you. All right. It is a collective of black brothers who have went through, overcame, and said, we're going to get together and we're going to help inspire and be the example for other black men. Get it today.
Are you ready to embark on a journey of inspiration and empowerment? Introducing The Heart of a Black Man, inspiring stories of triumph and resilience. A captivating anthology that sheds light on the incredible stories of black men who have faced adversity with unwavering strength. This anthology features a powerful voice among its authors, Dr. Pastor Prophet Anthony D. Shannon. His contribution adds a unique perspective, weaving a narrative of resilience, faith, and triumph that will leave you inspired and moved. The Heart of a Black Man is more than just a book. It's a beacon of hope, a celebration of perseverance, and a testament to the indomitable spirit within the hearts of black men. Available now on Amazon for only $20 or Kindle for $9.99. The Heart of a Black Man is a powerful investment in knowledge, empathy, and inspiration. Reach out to us or order your copy today and join us in celebrating the resilience, triumphs, and the enduring spirit of black men everywhere.
Hi, I am Dr. Pastor Anthony D. Shannon, and I want to invite you to Leaders Live Generously Summit, a 3-day virtual event you can't afford to miss. Are you prepared for what's coming? Are you equipped with this AI robotic generation? Well, you want to be here at Leaders Live Generously Summit is to inspire, empower visionary leaders, entrepreneurs, professionals to break through limiting beliefs and transform past challenges into stepping stones for building thriving businesses. We are committed to helping you transform and thrive your pathway to success. Join us for a transformative experience. If you're a passionate business owner, entrepreneur, professional, or leader ready to seize control of your future and accelerate your growth. Listen, you don't want to miss Leaders Live Generously Summit. We are committed to empowering individuals in areas of mindset, health, spirituality, relationships, business, finances, creativity, and wellness, enabling you to embrace, prepare to be inspired, and prepare for what's coming next. Go now to www.leaderslivegenerouslysummit.com. Dream, grow, and achieve. I want to see you in the virtual. Apply to speak now.
Hello, and thank you for tuning into Leading from the Future with Dr. Pastor Prophet Anthony D. Shannon. Well, we hope that you're enjoying the show, and we want to let you know that we are grateful for you. From captivating stories to insightful discussions, we value your presence in our community. Now, if you're finding value and joy in what we bring to your screen, we'd like to invite you to consider taking your support a step further. To ensure the continued success of our channel, we warmly invite you to contribute. We're seeking 10 generous individuals to donate $1,000 each, as well as 10 contributors with a gift of $526, and 10 supporters donating $224.24. Every donation, regardless of the amount, makes a significant impact. However, as a token of our gratitude, each contributor will receive a personalized prophetic word and an exclusive ebook. We have 3 simple ways for you to give, making it quick and easy for you to send your contributions. The first is Cash App. That's right, $ Anthony D. Shannon. You can send your contribution directly to our amazing host. The second way is to download the VChurch app. Go ahead and download on the Google Play or your App Store and follow the prompts there. The third is Cash App, $ the Victory Church INT. Again, we thank you for your contributions and your support of Leading from the Future with our amazing host, Dr. Pastor Prophet Anthony D. Shannon. Well, thank you for being an essential part of our journey. Your generosity truly fuels our passion. Now let's get back to the show because more exciting moments await us. Thank you for your continued support.
Well, all right, we are back in action. I'm telling you, the time is going so fast. As you can see, we are just peeling back the layers of who this mighty man is, what gifts, talents, and resources that he has available that he's willing to share with you. None other than Chris Hampton, Champ I Am. Let's tap into that, Champ I Am, Chris. And what does Champ I Am means to you? And how did you come up with the name that you are Champ I Am?
Wow. Well, like I said in the beginning, Champ I Am is my new definition for champion. I'm redefining what a champion looks like, because a lot of times, again, when we look at ourselves, we're asking, I need a champion. I need someone to come and save me. But what we don't realize is that in every one of you that's out there that's hearing my voice right now, there's a champ. In every one of you, there's a savior that's already on the inside of you, that's been equipped and empowered to do what it needs to do. But you have to take the time to cultivate and develop it after you discover it. And again, the I Am talks about everything that you need is in you seed form. So my life in your life is a life journey of cultivating the seeds that are on the inside of you, and realizing that the highest level of you walking into your purpose is when you are cultivating those gifts and those talents and those abilities. I call them the GTAs. When you have your gifts, your talents, and your abilities, and you spend your life qualifying those champ moments by displaying those gifts, talents, and abilities. The problem is that a lot of times what happens is we don't see ourselves as champs. We demote ourselves. We look for someone else to bail us out, or we downgrade the gifts that we already have on the inside of us because they don't look like the football player, the basketball player, the investment banker, but your whole entire wealth that's deposited is deposited on the inside of you. So you're like, why am I poor right now? Because you ain't tapped into your GTAs. You're not using your GTAs. Listen, it could be something as simple as crochet. You could crochet blankets, you crochet mittens, you crochet scarves, and you're sitting on top of a multi-million-dollar business. And because it doesn't look like Walmart, you don't think you have it. But God has given you every gift. So if you look at every gift that you have, it ties to the purpose that God has given you, because he does not give you a gift without a purpose. And that's what Champ I Am is about. Discovering and releasing the champ I am that's on the inside of you.
Wow. So what do you think, or what is your mission behind redefining champion as champ I am, knowing that God name is what is called from a Hebraic perspective, I am, the tetragrammaton. Now it's connected to champion. What is the mission and vision behind it?
Wow, Doc, you using doctor words on me. But protect the wetagram and milligram. Okay. All right. But I couldn't even spell that one. But that's my GED on there. All right. But no, I'm all seriously though, is that when you're helping people out and letting them know that God has given them a gift. The Bible talks about how he has given us a measure of faith. Right? The gift of faith is a gift that God has given everyone. Yeah. The problem and the enemy to your purpose, life journey, is to get you to step outside of faith. And what is faith? Faith is not what the church has made it to be. They'll give you a churchy line. But faith, I like how Dr. Creflo Dollar says, faith is your corresponding, suitable, appropriate action to what you are believing for based off of the word of God. Right? So when you understand that faith is a verb, it's an action, what happens is most of the resistance that's coming to you in your life is getting you not to believe in who you are, because you will never pursue what you don't believe. So that's the faith fight right now, is getting you to discover who you are. And sometimes, it took me till I almost had a heart attack to be able, because I was working 3 jobs. How many jobs? 3 jobs. I was a caretaker for my mom. I was an insurance agent, and I was working security at night because I knew I was trying to get something done. But in the midst of that, driving home, I had a heart. They thought I had a heart attack. I was like, something don't feel right. Went to the emergency room. The doctor was like, you had a heart attack. And I'm
so you drove yourself to the hospital after the heart attack?
After my 3rd shift. So I was working ridiculously. But when I was sitting in the hospital and the doctor gave me the news, because I didn't have a heart attack, it was everything he said was wrong. Okay. But in that moment when I thought I had the heart attack, you would think that your life was going to go before your eyes. Wow. And that's not happening. I had a clarity moment, and I had an argument with God. And I was like, something was on the inside of me that said, no, like that. I could hear it. And I was like, no. And it was like, I have not done what I'm supposed to do. And then God was like, well, what is it? Well, I'm supposed to be speaking. Wow. And then he said, speak. But I was like, nobody knows my name. That's all God said was speak. He said, nobody hires me anything. Nobody would hire me. It was back in 2017. Nobody would hire me. Nobody knows my name. You talk about speaking to the world. Nobody even knows who I am. Right? But he said, speak. And that moment I left that place, that following Monday, I was in Toastmasters. Wow. And I introduced myself. I said, my name is Chris Hampton, and I didn't have Champ I Am that time, but I said, I am a motivational speaker. I didn't say, my name is Chris Hampton, and I want to be a motivational speaker. Right. I didn't think, this is Chris Hampton, and I'm trying to be a motivational speaker. No, I said, I'm Chris Hampton, and I am a motivational speaker. To the point that every time I was going in there, I was motivating them. To the point, one lady, I remember this old lady comes up to me and says, well, Chris, you're like, well, Chris, everything you do is motivational. Can you do anything else? I said, I can't do anything else. I'm here to motivate you. Because I said, if I talk about cats, you're going to get motivated. I owned it. And that was the first part of being able to understand the journey of purpose, was owning the gift. And a lot of us right now have to realize that we have to own the gift that God has given us. And God gives you the gift, but he won't tell you how to use it. I mean, look at Moses coming to the Red Sea. He's in the midst of parting. He said, I need to be delivered because you brought me out of Egypt and you brought me right across the Red Sea. And I'm looking at all this water, God. You set me up. And he said, what am I going to do? He said, use what's in your hand.
Yes, indeed.
So a lot of times the level of our deliverance that we need, if I'm talking churchy, forgive me, but the level of deliverance and the level of breakthrough that we need, a lot of times your financial breakthrough is sitting on your GTA, your gift, your talents, and your abilities. And he's like, listen, why'd you make me poor? Why'd you make my family suffer? Why do you do all these different things? I gave you the gift. I told you to write the book. I told you to step out and teach dance when dance wasn't popular. I told you to go out there and feed the poor. But you were like, where's the money coming from? Well, the money ain't going to come until you go. God's not going to put the wealth of riches at your feet so that you can blow it all at one step.
True.
More of the supply comes to you as you continue to step out on faith, on your purpose.
Wow, listen, this is Chris Hampton, Champ I Am, redefining the word champion. I want to show you Chris in action. I want to show you the stuff that he does, some of the things that he do to motivate people. I want to show you these things. We'll be right back. Check Chris Hampton, the Champ I Am, in action.
Number one, you need to help yourself. As a leader, you need to learn how to help yourself. As a leader, you need to be able to know when you need help, whether that's counseling or therapy. And I recognize it, but I need to get help. Is encourage yourself, because as a leader on this journey, it can be very lonely sometimes when you have to do some of the things that you have to do. You need to realize that your healing journey is a journey, and people might not understand why you're doing some of the things, why you're cutting off relationships, why you're not letting people have access to you the way that you knew, and why you're doing, why you're flowing in the way that you're flowing. Is you have to accept yourself. Sometimes we're hard on ourselves because we see our flaws and we think that we're supposed to be perfect, and we're not perfect. I'm flawed, but I accept myself, flaws and all, and I give myself grace to fall short. Give yourself grace. And last, you need to love yourself. Say, I love me some me. That don't sound like it's believable. I say, I love me some me. Because if you don't love yourself, you can't show other people how to love you. And if you're in a situation right now where you're like, love me, love me, love me, you need it. Love me, love me, love me. No. This is how I need to be. This is how I choose to be loved. And if you can't make this standard, I'm not going to jump down my love standard. Because I love me so much that I'm not going to let me fall into your loveless trap. Say, I love me some me. Has this helped your challenge y'all a little bit different? I really want, and this is just the beginning journey, because all leaders really need to know this class right here. Because again, if we have more healthy leaders, we'll have what? More healthy teams. So, could you do me one favor?
Introducing to you Leaders Live Generously Academy, a coaching program designed just for you, with yours truly, Dr. Anthony D. Shannon. That's right. Listen, I want you to understand that Leaders Live Generously Academy is where ambition meets purpose and success is redefined. Imagine a place where you don't have to choose between making a meaningful impact and achieving financial prosperity, where your pursuit of success harmonizes perfectly with your values of family and faith. At our academy, we understand that true leadership is about living generously, leading with integrity, and creating a legacy that transcends financial achievements. Under the guidance and the coaching of Dr. Anthony D. Shannon, I am a renowned expert in leadership with over 30 years of experience. Listen, not only do we teach you leadership, we teach you personal development. You'll discover your unique purpose. Learn to maintain balance in all aspects of your life. and I want you to unlock strategies for wealth creation. Why don't you join me and let me help you transform your vision of success, lead with generosity, and live a life filled with purpose. I want you to start your journey today at Leaders Live Generously Academy. It's the coaching program designed for you. It's where we teach you to lead, to love, to give. It's transformative leadership, because the best leaders are those who live generously. Come join the Academy, and your coaching program starts right now.
Hello, and thank you for tuning into Leading from the Future with Dr. Pastor Prophet Anthony D. Shannon. Well, we hope that you're enjoying the show, and we want to let you know that we are grateful for you. From captivating stories to insightful discussions, we value your presence in our community. Now, if you're finding value and joy in what we bring to your screen, we'd like to invite you to consider taking your support a step further. To ensure the continued success of our channel, we warmly invite you to contribute. We're seeking 10 generous individuals to donate $1,000 each, as well as 10 contributors with a gift of $526, and 10 supporters donating $224.24. Every donation, regardless of the amount, makes a significant impact. However, as a token of our gratitude, each contributor will receive a personalized prophetic word and an exclusive ebook. We have 3 simple ways for you to give, making it quick and easy for you to send your contributions. The first is Cash App. That's right, $ Anthony D. Shannon. You can send your contribution directly to our amazing host. The second way is to download the VChurch app. Go ahead and download on the Google Play or your App Store and follow the prompts there. The third is Cash App, $ the Victory Church INT. Again, we thank you for your contributions and your support of Leading from the Future with our amazing host, Dr. Pastor Prophet Anthony D. Shannon. Well, thank you for being an essential part of our journey. Your generosity truly fuels our passion. Now let's get back to the show, because more exciting moments await us. Thank you for your continued support.
All right. Well, listen, you saw him in action, in his element. Yeah, he's not like Beyonce. She goes into something else, Sasha Fierce, but he just walked right into being who he was, who he is, and his purpose being fulfilled. So, champ, here's the question for you. Surely you just didn't walk a straight line. Surely you've had some challenges that you faced in building your brand or maintaining your brand. What are a couple of challenges that you had to overcome in order to still be here today?
It's the blessing. A lot of people don't know that my wife and I were separated, and we were going through a divorce, but I never divorced her. So we ended up with one of the longest separations I ever seen. We were separated for 10 years.
We were a whole long number.
We were separated for a whole decade.
And nobody knew you wasn't divorced or nothing.
And we went to the same church. So I make the joke. I make the joke because she never left my last name, and we were serving as both leaders, but we went to the same church. But for 10 years, we were separated and living life separately. Mm-hmm. And in that time, that's where Champ I Am was developed, was in my lowest part, because I knew part of what I was supposed to do was to minister to men and to help to deal with men in their marriages and in their lives and helping to build strong men. But here I am failing in mine. And in the midst of that, God is having me teach Bible study to other men, and I'm sitting here sharing all my mistakes, and I'm watching their marriages get healed in this test. So you talk about Job sitting under the gourd being upset. I was upset at God because I was not living in purpose. I was mad. I felt like I was in my wilderness situation. But that's where Champ I Am was developed. You would not get Champ I Am if I didn't get that wilderness experience of that 10 years low spot. Because in the midst of that 10 years, that's where God called the champ out and identified my identity. So even in the midst of what we call our so-called failures, God still uses those failures to turn around and to make them into elevating moments. 10 years later, me and my wife get back together, and heals the marriage. And now we're flowing in business together. We're more synced now than we were when we were toxic 10 years ago. So God was blessing the family, restored the family, showed me that even though I failed and fell short, my failure did not eliminate my call that was on my life. The tragedy did not take away the purpose. But it empowered me to be able to be more authentic with men and to be able to share the process of you telling men that you can't give up. And, you know, I had brothers come to me, when can I leave my marriage? You can't leave your marriage.
Mhm.
You're going to do it God's way. You know, you can't leave your marriage. Oh, you can't make it so bad that she walks away. No, you got to do your part. And I can say that because I lived that in that 10-year period of time. I know how to be reconciled. I know how to fix that. But again, a lot of times we end up ministering to people off of the beginning of the script. And I think we're ministering too soon, because that's one of the things I said. I was writing a book and I wrote the book and I haven't sold that book yet. I wrote the book on somebody else's compilation and talking about my hurt and where I was out there. And I wasn't realizing that God was not finished with the healing that had to take place with me. And that's a lot of these people saying your story matters. Your story matters when your story is finished and completed. Some of us are still ministering to people out of our hurt and have not allowed God to fix us. But now we want to go talk to women about narcissistic relationships. We want to talk about all these different things about how you're going to have a fresh start. And you in your fresh start. You're not through the fresh start. You in your fresh start. Some of us need to sit through the process and allow us to be developed, because you're cutting the learning time. You're expanding the learning time because you are not willing to sit through the process of what healing looks like.
Wow.
And we see it all the time, Pastor, when we're out there and we're doing out there and we see them come into these public spaces and bleed all over the people. And we're like, yo, they're not ready. But you can't tell them they're not ready because you have people telling them that your story matters. Your story will have a full effect when you can share the full meaning of that testimony. You can say, you know what, this is the beginning, the middle, and the end of this, and this is where God taught me through. Or at least be transparent and say, I'm still going through this, and I'm still navigating this, but here are the lessons that I learned while I was navigating. That makes a difference.
That makes a big difference. Listen, why don't you do this? I really felt that. Pray for men who said, I'm just going to leave, but they don't know what to do. There's so many that's out there, but yet you could have left long time ago. You could have but you didn't. Speak to that man and then pray for them that God will give them wisdom, strategies, or even the strength to endure for a change or turnaround in their marriage.
Okay. Well, first thing, man, is that the foundation of being a great man is having a relationship with God. And having a firm relationship with God. When I notice with brothers that go through in their marriages, they do what I call the front row, middle row, back row, out the door, right? And what we need to do is you need to have a solid relationship with God, not because of your wife, just because that God is so good to you, that you realize that God is your keeper and that you can't do anything without God. You have to have that personal relationship, because that's going to be the keeper of while you're going through those uncomfortable moments. And then you need to have wise counsel. So you need to go into counseling. You may need to get the therapy. Make sure that you're being held accountable to somebody or a couple that is living that life according to the word, that they can do that too, right? So you need to make yourself accountable to God. Make yourself accountable to a relationship that is where you are in God, that's displaying those things. And then you need to be submitted to your call as well. And I'm going to pray for you right now, because I know emotionally, men, we are going through these things in our relationships, and we don't even know how to express the pain of the relationship that we're going through right now. We're going through the healing that needs to happen from a divorce, or healing from the separation, or healing from the fact that the marriage is not where it needs to be. Right? So I'm going to pray for that right now, because I'm going to pray for your state, that the Lord will open up your heart by you being transparent with God first. Father, in the name of Jesus, we thank you, God, for the brothers that are watching this, that are starting to stay for their, trying to fix their family. And we realize that we can't fix anything. We need to submit our marriage to Jehovah Shalom, the God of our peace. And right now we need peace in our home. And we know that you are the God of peace. So right now, we just declare peace in our life, and God, as we are submitting ourselves to you, God, that you heal us of our broken places, God. We have broken places that are in us that we can't even verbalize, God. But we know that you know us, God. You are, before we were here, you knew us, God. So we know that you know the very cure that's going to heal us, God, because you are the God that heals, God. So we submit ourselves to you as men of God that are willing to know that we can have full rested assurance that when we relax in your hands, when we relax in your presence, God, that you got us and that you will keep us, God. Father, send us accountability partners that will keep us accountable, that will check us in our roughest places, God. Give us pastors that have our heart to be able to develop and keep us accountable according to your word, God. And as we leave our lives to you, the great fixer, God, we know that when you fix it, it's fixed. And we thank you for that. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Wow, I felt that prayer. I know you felt it, and I know, men, you felt it. It's going to be encouraging. Listen, Chris, tell people about the summit you've got coming up. I'm a part of it. You're part of mine. But tell people about your summit and how they can be a part of it.
Well, we're doing the Champ I Am Summit. This is the second Champ I Am Summit, so I'm proud of that as well. And we're having speakers from all over the world that are going to be sharing. We got speakers from Canada, we got speakers from India, speakers from Africa that are going to be on this sharing you how to take the limits off. That's the theme of this series, is how to taking the limits off. And you can actually sign up. It's a free conference for you to be on. It's going to be completely virtual on February the 26th, the 27th, and the 28th. And if you just go to champiamsummit.com, you can sign up for that free conference where it's going to change your life. We have people coming from different walks talking about leadership, talking about life management, financial skills, talking about personal development, talking about entrepreneurship, how to function in the professional workplace, and how to get your home right, how to get your kids right. So you're going to get a wealth of leadership that's going to challenge you not to be subjected to your environment, but to take the limits off and to overcome and dominate the places where you are.
Amen. Wow. Well, you heard it, folks, from Chris Hampton, Champ I Am himself. Please check him out. Listen, thank you so much for being a part of the show. Tell people how to get in touch with you, how to follow you, all your social media handles, your contact information, if they want you to speak, all of that good stuff.
Reach out to me at my website by my name is champim.org. That's my website, so you can reach me on that. On Instagram, you can get me at champimspeaks. And those are great ways to really communicate with me and reach out to me if you're interested in speaking. Go directly to my website, and you can actually book me through the website for having a conversation. But I would definitely, whether it's ministry, whether it's marketplace, whether it's the professional development area, dealing with communication and developing your leadership teams and things like that, we can talk about that as well. You can get all that information at champim.org.
Well, there you have it. Time went so fast. I tell you, it was so enriching and so inviting. That means we're just going to have to invite Champ I Am back, all right, so they can come and share more as we are moving forward, matriculating and elevating in this space and place that God has granted us to do. He's going to be part of our Leaders Live Generously Summit, our first virtual summit. And guess what? God has just been miraculously touching it and blessing it, where we are blending in faith and business synergistically as one. But no one has to sacrifice one or the other, but they can blend them both together. I tell you what, a great time that's going to be for solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, engineers, lawyers. Listen, you want to be in the place, in the space. Go ahead and save your spot. And if you still want to be a speaker, apply to speak. Let God do whatever he can do in your life. All right. Hope to see you in the place. All right. Well, listen, folks, time has been well spent. You know how we do it on Leaders Live Generously. We believe that everyone born is born for a purpose. All you got to do is find your purpose, and you can start living your life, because a life without purpose is like living life. Not at all. So we want you to live. We want you to have that John 10:10 kind of life, that the thief come to steal, kill, and destroy, but I've come that you might have life. Enjoy it to the full, till it overflow. Listen, I'm your host, Dr. Pastor Prophet Anthony D. Shannon, a prophet you can trust, here to be an encourager for you, here to inspire you, and to be a catalyst to get you to your next. I believe you can reach your destiny. I really do. And hope to see you at one of these summits, Champ I Am Summit or Leaders Live Generously. We'll see you next time. As we always do at 313, that's the place to be. It's called Detroit. All right. Peace is where God lives.
Thank you for joining us on another incredible episode of Leading from the Future with Dr. Pastor Prophet Anthony D. Shannon. We've had an amazing journey exploring visionary leadership and inspiring insights. If you're passionate about sharing your story and ideas on our show, we'd love to have you as a guest. Simply reach out to us via email at thevictorychurchint@gmail.com. To ensure the continued success of our channel, we invite you to support us by contributing. We're seeking 10 generous individuals to donate $1,000 each. You can contribute through 3 convenient ways. The first is Cash App. That's right, $ Anthony D. Shannon. Or $ The Victory Church INT. You can also download the VChurch app. Search for us on the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. Follow the prompts and make your contribution. Whether you contribute $1,000 or any amount, every donation makes a difference. Go ahead and support us today. For more information and to stay connected, please visit leaderslivegenerously.com. We appreciate your support in advancing our mission. Well, thank you for being a part of this incredible community. Join us